Good day, folks. So, we're going to dive into a little deeper in today's short, the reading from today's YouTube short. This is just too juicy. This is a timeless reading. Today it is Monday, September 16th. Tomorrow we have the full moon and lunar eclipse in Pisces. I believe it's a partial lunar eclipse. So, what happens with the eclipses is um, a lot of transformation is taking place. So, anything unresolved within the shadow is coming up to be resolved, so that we are more empowered to move forward on the best paths for us. I know the rhetoric a lot of is the highest path, but I personally prefer to move with the best path for us and all those involved at this time. So we started our reading with Embrace the Dark. So, whatever may be coming up for you in this moment, in this time period, I believe the eclipse window ends in early October. So this is a traditionally dark season. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we have the autumnal equinox coming up soon. So in this image, we have a priestess in the background, kind of glowing, and she's in this white gown. And we have another little fairy here that's kind of reminding me of the inner child. And then we have the black cat with kind of red eyes, and this beautiful glowing priestess here in her dark gowns. There's a wonderful book that really shaped my perspective on shadow work. I was doing a lot of self help back in 2016, and that is The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. And one of the exercises in that book, she has you list out all of your perceived negative attributes. And then on the mirror side, showing that they're just the shadow side of actually some of your most positive attributes. So we're working to kind of dissolve the duality, to recognize the shadows as integral aspects of who we are, and to dissolve any shame around them. And sometimes different events will take place to kind of instigate those shadow behaviors, so that we are then forced to look at them. We are forced to look at what we are afraid of. I'm being pulled towards the strength card and being shown the eye on my on this Hamsa organite here, and there's black obsidian in that eye. So we're looking at the strength card too, and this overall theme of the darkness is nothing to be afraid of. The darkness provides contrast, right? So here, these blue spots and the orange eye and the green spots of this butterfly and this dragon might not be so beautiful if not in contrast to the dark, the black, the gray background, right? And it does take strength to dive into these dark spaces. I think of the inner child who's afraid of the dark, who going to sleep at night is afraid to put the lights out and kind of needs that night light there to show them, like, okay, the light's still there. And whatever you may be going through this season, the light is still there. Just because the dark exists doesn't mean the light does not. The shadow of planet Earth passes over the moon or the sun or whatever kind of eclipse is occurring, and it does pass so that the light may come out. But during these eclipse periods, the light changes and we're able to see things from a new perspective. So from the Starseed Oracle, we have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So this phrase, none of this matters, it doesn't. There's a clip. I've never seen the movie, but there's a clip of Bill Murray giving a speech to football players, and they're kind of like the underdog football team. And he's saying, none of this matters, none of this matters, none of this matters. So go do the best you can. So, this perspective shift, I really appreciate this expansive dark night with this tiny, tiny earth here. Um, and this is this little blue, tiny blue marble in the scope of, the vastness of our universe and our multiverse is passing between our moon or passing between, um, right? How does it could be different things. I think for this in particular, the earth will be passing between the sun and the moon, causing this eclipse. In a solar eclipse, I believe it's the opposite, where the moon is passing. Ooh, the moon is passing between the earth and the sun. Something to that effect. I'm not an astro. I'm not an astrologer. um, None of this matters. So it does matter. None of this matters. So you find what matters to you and you pursue that. And I think eclipses are really great for that. Because whatever gets kind of lost in the darkness or whatever stops mattering in the darkness, it kind of shows us, okay, this is what does matter to me. And this is what I'm going to pursue. This is where our passions are born out of. So this is something, I asked specifically what energies are going to carry us through this season after these first three cards came out. And we got strength and passion. So leaning into our strength and being shown a tapestry of the strength card. So it's like taming the dragon, seeing our shadow side, seeing our dark side, our shadow behaviors, or the different elements of our lives that are not benefiting us. So it's like a full moon amplified, a release amplified. What you're kind of holding on to is going to be kind of forced out of your hand in a way to show you you don't need this. This isn't serving you. Because here we have jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. And then we have this person diving into the pupil of the eye, and I was just shown kind of the similarity between the pupil of the eye and the little earth. So we're jumping in full force into our lives, into the depths of our being. And what are we passionate about? What do we want to do while we're here? What is the legacy that we're leaving behind? And then we have the lilac fire dragon that came through, transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. So, whatever shadow energy is being pulled up for you to witness, we're kind of jumping in to our passions and our strength and kind of moving through the difficult stuff, the shadow that comes up, the obstacles that come up, the tests that come up, the challenges that come up. And the way we face what comes up we have the choice to shine the light of love into these dark spaces and into these shadows and transmute any kind of negativity, any kind of old stories, any kind of habits, any relationships, anything in your life that is blocking you from being in your highest state of the expression of your soul, of yourself. Anything blocking you from living a passionate, loving life. Say yes to change. Lots of changes are coming through. Again, we're being shown what's working and what's not working. So we're going to go to Kali Ra. Kali, I need guidance for this eclipse season. For our viewers, feeling something coming up. Okay. This is the card, and the bottom card's really on fire. Okay. Yeah, we have Kali in her full force here. And then this is the card up top. We have the lotus flower. This looks to be some kind of sacrifice, a leaf here, prayer beads, and a hook or a weapon, all with the full moon as the backdrop. Mahavidya. No matter how logical an approach may be or how sensible it may seem, there are times when the heart nudges us toward a different way. Have the courage and the strength to be moved by your heart. Long, untried paths that resonate, whatever the logical mind has to say about them. You are outgrowing a problem and birthing a superior outcome. So I'm going to put this by our passion and our lilac fire dragon, because that confirms what we're talking about. Anything that's blocking us from our passions, from the highest states of love and expression of ourselves and our truths, is going to be moved. And at first, when these things are moved out of our path, it could be disruptive and it could be uncomfortable. But if we can lean into our strength and our trust and knowing that it's for our highest good. Yuga Shakti. We may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences, yet trust in divine timing alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end, and a new dawn shall rise. Enough said. Thank you, Kali Ra. Let's see what we have here. Vajra Kali. There's not always a need to try to grapple and conquer. Sometimes the need is simply to let go. Just because another has created a certain reality for themselves and is attempting to draw you in, it does not mean that you must participate. You have the divinely granted gift of choosing where to invest your energy. Be kind to yourself. So it's important not to judge what comes and what goes during this period. Our logical mind may say, hey, no, I need this, or I really want this. But to trust that there's a higher purpose to all of it and go with that flow, to rely on our strength, to lean into our passions, to lean into love and divine love to carry us, to stay in our high heart, which is a space of hope and compassion for ourselves and for others. Let's go to the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle for some grounding energy from our earth and plant friends. Okay, trees. What guidance can you offer during this cycle, during this eclipse season? So we have the elm. I'm feeling it right over here. So we have this much softer, more soothing kind of imagery that comes up. And then we have, so it's very soft and diffuse. It's important to ground during this time period, spend time out in nature, spend time reflecting. I'm being shown the planet Earth right here. So we have elm, and that's in our leaves, our wisdom, the wisdom of leaves. Let's find elm. I have lived beside humans for thousands of years, and I am your friend. My wood is pliable, and my leaves feed livestock. I can teach you to connect wholeheartedly with those in your life so your relationships become stronger and more satisfying. Be clear when talking to other people so they are able to understand exactly what you mean. Dropping hints or expecting others to read between the lines of what you are saying will only lead to confusion and resentment. I'm also noticing this stream here. So this gives the impression that we're just going to go with the flow again of with what stays and what goes during this eclipse period and also what comes in. It's important to stay grounded. It's very important also to understand that our friends, our family, and our community are also going through changes. They're also feeling these intense eclipse energies. So to be very clear, to be very clear with your boundaries, to be respectful of other people's boundaries, to be very clear with directions, to stay grounded, to be a sheltering tree to your brethren, to your community, to your friends and family. Okay. We're going to pull that card definitely has my attention. Whoops. Beautiful. Okay, so we have this card coming out. The Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous, a perfect balance of what became masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. This card invites you to look at masculine and feminine energy from a more balanced perspective. What needs to happen to form a more holistic and equalized foundation? For more masculine drive and focus, concentrate on goals, desires, and ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine energy for receptivity, trust, flow, and surrender, consider all the things you are already grateful for. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect just the way it is. So, this eclipse season, finding balance between, again, we're going into the equinox as well, finding balance between the shadow and the light, the dark and the light, finding balance between the feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang energies, leaning into gratitude when things feel difficult, leaning into gratitude when things feel challenging. Where did my box go? There we go. Okay, and I think for a closing message, we will talk to Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin. All right, this is the one. This beautiful image of Kuan Yin calmly contemplating with the lotus in her hand and all her beads. There's a flower and a vase here, and everything is kind of hazy, but we see the bud of a lotus. The buds of lotus or lotus eye kind of popping up. I don't know if lotus eye is the proper word, but it does sound cool. To the celestial mountain. Sounds about right. If you have the opportunity to go into the mountains and meditate through this eclipse season in the midst of all that is changing, I would highly recommend it. Highly endorse the idea of going to the mountain. You have the ability to invoke divine power, to call to the celestial mountain so that you might be gifted with the spiritual energy you need to attain your goals. Permitting beings that love you unconditionally to help you is an expression of spiritual empowerment. You empower the divine forces that can assist you to come to your aid and help you manifest your visions. So we can call on the imagery of the mountain to help us stay grounded as things are fluctuating. So that you might be gifted with the spiritual energy you need to attain your goals, to remain grounded, to remain in higher states of love and gratitude. Lean on your team and spirit, your guides and your angels, your beneficial ancestors. I really appreciate, any beings that love me unconditionally are welcome into this space. I ask for your guidance. So, this whole process of eclipse season, facing the shadow, digging into the shadow, doing shadow work, releasing what no longer serves us, this is all spiritual and holistic empowerment. You empower the divine forces that can assist you to come to your aid and help you manifest your visions. I'm being shown the Passion card again. So, this is a really good time to dig into what you're passionate about and perhaps journal on what you believe is blocking you from pursuing those passions or expressing those passions or embodying those passions. Beautiful. I'm going to take my pre-night wand here and just wish everyone a happy, healthy, safe eclipse season, happiness, health, and safety and peace on all days. May your hopes and dreams come to fruition. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be peaceful, may you be free. You are so supported during this period. Please feel free to reach out if you are struggling. Also, my personal readings are on sale for eclipse season on my Buy Me a Coffee website in the description. The link is in the description. And they are all 25% off with code ECLIPSE in all caps. Much love to you, my family. Stay well, stay grounded. Enjoy.